The views expressed in this video presentation are my opinions and not necessarily the opinions of guests and others sharing or reposting this video. The content is produced only for educational and informational purposes. Do not regard any statements in this video as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Investing comes with risk to loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and seek guidance from a professional investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I'm Dollar Will. Let's try to make some money. Find an opportunity. Let me get this out of here. Get my chart ready for you. Get this done and get back to those, back to trading. Let's see. All right. Today we're going to talk about cannabis. Y'all know I've been watching this. The last time I talked, put a video up. This has been a pretty serious correction. Let's look at a bigger view. This thing is like a serious nosedive. Now, everybody, it's not news that the S&P 500 is in a major correction. Okay. Stocks in, say, the staples sector or other sectors, like not technology. Basically, this is not the time to be looking at all the sexy Teslas and all that kind of stuff, at least until the S&P decline is done. And, people say, well, you can't time the bottom. Well, in technical analysis, we get pretty close, okay? And technical analysis is not new. It's been around more than 100 years, okay? So it's not a new thing. So, a lot of good chartists out there, okay? So add some of that to your fundamental analysis if you insist on using fundamental analysis, because technical analysis can help you avoid this kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So we've been on a pretty serious decline in a whole weed space, if you will, since February of last year. Okay. So for a year. Okay. Serious correction. So we were up at $56 at the high. We're down closer to $7 right now. We seem to be retesting this area here when we made this run up to $59. So this could end up being a pretty good, a profitable correction once it's over. And we're at a key junction where it's worth watching at this point. So this is a monthly. Let me get on down the lower time frames. This low, this is a weekly chart, and this low here on the week of the 24th of January. So that's about a month ago. That's the key level. If this holds, then we could be in for a good run. It could reverse. So I'm just calling your attention to it. I'm watching it. The thing about it, once it starts going, it could take off pretty fast. So in technical analysis, we kind of watch for signs of a reversal, and we wait until we get some proof of it. This would be pretty good proof, breaking this trend line and going higher than here. But for now, it's deeply, deeply oversold. Extremely oversold. So this is a daily chart. And this is the low here. January 24th. So we're trying, let me see, go to a 4 hour. See, we were overbought. I'm sorry, we were overbought and then we're oversold. And we kind of have been going sideways pretty much since the 24th. So the whole deal is, if price breaks this trend line going down before breaking below here, that would be bullish. And I would be interested in it. But as always, I always use a stop loss. So even if I'm wrong, I will put a stop loss a little below this low here. And so if I'm wrong, I'll just lose a minimal amount. But technically, this setup is pretty strong. Okay. Pretty strong. Let's just say, without getting too deep into it, this is a momentum indicator. And this rise here shows that people have been buying as it has declined. And it's ready for another push up. The combination of reading these two oscillators suggests we're about to make a move up. And if we break this trend line and go higher here, then this low would be confirmed as at least the near term low. So we would be in set up to make a good push higher. Okay. It would be too early to tell right now if we're going to go above this and go higher and higher. But it from Elliott wave theory, this correction is an ABC correction, and it could be the end of the correction that started here. October of 2018. Yeah, October of 2018. So these marijuana stocks have been really getting beaten down. So this is pretty severe correction, and it has fallen, let's say, a customary amount. Okay, I can't really be more specific without getting deeper into Elliott wave theory and other concepts. But let's just say we're on the watch. This thing is on the serious watch list right here. Sorry for dragging y'all. I'm not using my upbeat self. Not that today. I don't know why. It's kind of dreary outside. Maybe that's it. So these are the areas that I'm looking at. First, right in there. I would like to see the price not really go below that. And then I would need it to go above this area where there were a lot of purchase, a lot of interest in the stock in the past. So at some point, if it is to rise, it has to demonstrate it on the chart by the marketplace bidding higher for it. Because uptrends make higher highs and downtrends make lower lows. And so if price is actually reversing, it has to prove it by the marketplace paying more for it than it did at these levels. It sold off at these levels in the past. So at some point, you would have to start bidding higher than these levels, okay? But the setup for that to happen looks pretty strong just from the interpretation of these two oscillators, momentum oscillators to be exact. Okay. A lot has changed in this space. Canopy used to be the market cap leader. And market cap, let's see, I'd say a crude definition of that would be if a stock has if you convert the stocks that everyone in the marketplace owns, if you multiply those shares by the stock price, let me make it even simpler. The stock that has attracted the most money. I'm not talking sales, I'm talking the stock purchases. It's more money invested in when a stock has attracted more investors in terms of stock purchases, then say it's peer, then that stock would be considered the market cap leader in its space. Okay. Canopy Growth used to be the market cap leader. And this is how much, if you add up all the money, all the stock that people have spent to buy Canopy, that's what the figure would be. Okay. And Tilray is more. I'm like, when did that happen? So the market cap leader today now is Tilray. So let's take a look at Tilray. TLRY. Okay. Without getting too much in the Elliott wave theory, it looks like this thing has some more down to go. This is not quite ready. Tilray doesn't quite look ready. I would watch it, but we do have good momentum. This is a daily chart. We do have buying going on in this downtrend. So that part at least looks good. But this one, I would still be in watch mode on this one. But I just thought that was interesting. That Tilray just, I haven't been, I just trade the charts. I don't really watch the news, but I'm sure there's some merger or something you can look at to find out why investors fell in love with Tilray to the point where Tilray overcame Canopy Growth, CGC, as the market cap leader. Interesting. Let's see. So now I want to take a look at the options market. Look at the options market to get a sense of, and this will be new to me too. I have not. I'll have it up, but I didn't even check it yet. So I can look at the options market to get a sense of how options traders view this stock in the coming weeks. Okay, give me a sense of sentiment. Okay, a lot of times you can get a peek at get a peek at which direction the price may move based on whether people are buying more puts than calls. Okay, a put is a bet that the price will go down, and a call is a position. I don't like saying the word bet with stocks. I'm trying to remove all gambling analogies because it's not gambling. It really, really isn't. Work too hard at this. It is not gambling. Okay. But when more calls are being purchased than puts, then that would be optimistic sentiment. When more puts are being purchased than calls, that would be pessimism. Okay. And so this option expires Friday, 2 days from now. And this put call ratio is low. So if it was at 0.8, 0.8 or above, that would be the beginning of bearish sentiment. And so that's what's trading today. Over here is what was on the books at the end of yesterday, at the close Tuesday. And you still is less than. So these are contracts that were on the books that have not expired. This was the state of affairs at the close yesterday, and the calls are outweighing the puts. So this is bullish sentiment, and it's in agreement with this momentum increase during this down. So the options market is backing up or confirming, in a sense, that there is bullishness into this downturn, that there's buying into this dip, put it that way. Okay. But let me go back to Canopy, CGC. gonna try not to make this video too long. I say that, and then I'll talk for an hour. I know people on my Patreon are laughing because I say that all the time, and I'll go for an hour. I really have it in my mind I'm gonna make the video 15 minutes, but it doesn't work out that way. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. Okay. So we got the momentum push being confirmed. Yeah, because that was Tilray I was looking at. Forget that. This is the option I was looking at is for CGC, and this is CGC. So the bullish sentiment in the options market is paralleling what the momentum oscillators are telling us. Put it that way. All right, and so that's for the expiration this Friday. Let's go out. Let's look next. Let's look for March 4th. Let's see how our people. So this is telling us what people are buying and saving up, storing in their account. This is real money put on the table. Okay, and so so it's not up to 0.8. So there is more bearishness further out to next Friday, but remember 0.8 is where it gets to be quote unquote a problem. So I'm gonna go even further out, try one more. So for the expiration for the contract that expires next Friday, it's bullish because this is not 0.8, and this number represents the state. The ratio of puts to calls at the close yesterday. So it's near bearish, but technically it's not bearish. This is not at the problematic level. So I would still put this in the bullish category. Now I don't know whether this number was trending higher or lower. I don't know if it used to be a high number above 0.8 and then it dropped to 0.7. That would definitely suggest bullishness. I don't know if it used to be lower and it was rising because I didn't look. This thing just jumped out at me. So let's take a look even further. Let's go out to March 11th. See what the options market is telling us. Okay, so further out, we're talking 2 weeks into the future. The put call ratio favors the calls for what's traded today, and then as for how things looked at the close yesterday, it too is less than 0.8, but it's kind of there. So I don't know whether this is trending up or down, but that's now that CGC is on my mind again, I will be watching this every day pretty much. But it's below 0.8, so we're still talking about bullishness 2 weeks into the future. So on balance, call options are outweighing the put options, and this is for a stock that is trending down. Okay, but it looks like it's ready to push. So that's that. Let's see. And here's another page for ETFs. Now this is mostly where I live. I like ETFs because when the economy or I'm sorry, the macro factors like interest rate, sector rotation, money moving from one sector to another is favoring one particular industry, I like to buy the whole space. So I find industry-based ETFs, and I typically don't buy individual stocks, but I might chart them, especially the market cap leader, to get a sense of how money is moving. Looking at the momentum like I just did, the options trading like I just did, and the trend state, of the price itself. That's technical analysis. News. Okay, there you go. See, some of this is the worst often becomes the first, you know. So I like to, even in big downtrends, I like to see which one was getting beaten down the most, and I see if there's buying support coming in for it, you know. And again, is with ETFs, you'd be buying the whole space. Now, this used to be the market cap leader. This is assets under management, 714 million. MJ used to be the one. Now, I never heard of this. This must be a new one. They're always coming out with new ETFs. This thing has 1.2 billion under management, and they have a little sense of humor. YOLO, you only live once. Pot X, CNBS, Cannabis. I don't know what this is. THC. Okay, okay, and then take a toke. I don't know what this is. PSDN. There's no joke in that one. Bud X. Yep. So they have a little sense of humor. But I want to look at this price chart of MSOS with their 1.2 billion under management. It's a lot of money in the space. And you can go to bar charts, click on profile, and constituents, and you can see what particular companies are represented in that. And this chart looks a lot like what am I saying? This chart looks a lot like CGC, but it doesn't look ready. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing came up a little bit and came down a little more. It doesn't have the right structure. I'm not trying to get too specifically in the Elliott wave theory. You have to join the Patreon for that. But for my Patreon folks, I don't know. I'm looking to see like something that looks like a B and C. It's a little too neat and orderly. It seems like it doesn't have the right structure. It doesn't have the right counter trend structure. Okay. So I don't know about this one. But I do like the fact that it has generally been going sideways for a while. So it is putting in a base. That it's doing. Okay. So looking at it over the next little while. Yeah, all this stuff got destroyed. So you can double. If this is the bottom, this would be a double. Get a little more than 100% just to come back up to this level. And if the S&P is in serious trouble, let's see. Often what happens in I don't want to get too much in the S&P, but I think that this downturn in the S&P is not the big one that everybody is talking about. I think we have one more push higher. And typically what happens, so in Elliott wave terms, that would be a wave 5 coming up. And typically what happens in that is momentum diverges. So the whales, the big money, the big money movers, money managers, they sell into that last push higher because they have billions that they're moving, and they don't really stay in it to the very top because they have too much money to move to get out in time. So they start scaling out into that final push higher, and they come to other sectors and industries with basically other stocks and other industries that have been beaten into the dirt. Okay, something where things that are so undervalued that the path of least resistance is up. Okay, and so this to me looks like one of those places where that's happening because of the momentum move right now. So I will be watching this, and other industries I will be pointing out in the coming weeks to show you in real time how technical analysis can show you how money moves. And it's just fact. It's not an opinion. Okay. Because the orders are reflected, the order flow is reflected in momentum oscillators. And so we know for a fact that the lion's share of the money or the stocks, money spent on stocks went to this particular industry, say this day, this week, this month, as opposed to another industry. So we will be looking at, whereas technology, you're seeing money leave that space. Well, it goes somewhere. Okay, it goes somewhere, and so it could go to a different asset class, or or it could go to a different sector slash industry. And so what I do is I follow the money. Okay, and typically the place where the money is rotating to doesn't get coverage in the news until the price like really pops and gets to a ridiculous level. By that time, you kind of miss getting in at the optimal price. So often I'll be talking about stuff before you hear anybody talking about it in the news, because news is what has happened. Okay, so until the price makes the pop, news doesn't regard it as news. It's nothing happened. But as a trader, we don't follow them. As a technical trader, let me put it like that. The technical trader, we don't follow the news. Okay, we the news is too late for us. We were already on it. Okay, so we don't take our clues from the news. We take our clues from the price action. And this movement here with these oscillators and all that, that's price action. Okay, so that's how we watch what's going on. Let's see. Let me see who's riding with me, and let me get on up out of here. What's happening, Gold Professor? What's happening, Brother Iori? I will be Gold Professor. I'm going to be talking about gold pretty soon. I'm watching that now every day. It's at a interesting point. It could flip and go south, or whatever, or it could make a new high. I'm kind of in the camp that it's going to flip and go south, but it has had a nice little bullish move, but it's at a point where it may be running into some technical trouble, some overhead resistance. So stay tuned. I should be doing something on gold pretty soon. What's happening, Rael? What's happening? Lotus here. What's up? Okay, so that's all I got riding with me. I want to thank y'all. And again, if you want to get your chart game down. Oh, and of course I will be looking at some Bitcoin and stuff. But it's kind of, when everybody's like going spastic about S&P and Bitcoin and stuff, a lot of times the technical traders, it's kind of boring for us, because we saw the change in direction happening already. And so we've already kind of taken our position, and we just riding it out, shorting it. Either we're shorting it, or we'll find a bearish ETF that goes up when the thing goes down, or we'll find a different industry or sector where the money rotated, and we just kind of sit in our position. While as long as that downtrend lasts, there's really not a whole lot for us to talk about. So yeah, it's just kind of boring. So, but if you want to get to that level of insight, sign up to my Patreon. $10. That's it. You never find any place cheaper. But you will have to work. You will have to put in your screen time. There's group training and personal training. So get it while it's here, because it's not gonna always be here. Okay. I'm gonna shut it down. Peace, fam.